How's it going, guys? Objective here, and it's been a few days since the 1.1 patch went live for the Division, and now that I've had a few days to play with the changes, I thought I'd give my thoughts and opinions on the update, as well as how the Division is doing overall up to this point. But before we get started, I want to give a shout out to my homegirl, Maya Papaya, for playing really well this weekend. Now, patch 1.1 comes with the free Incursion mission and a whole lot of changes and upgrades, and the first thing I want to talk about is the changes to the loot drops and the new gear sets in the game. With this patch, it is much easier to farm for those gold items, given that every boss is now guaranteed to drop at least one gold item after you kill them. Up to this point, it has been extremely difficult to get a hold of these gold items, and the easiest way was to buy the gold blueprints and craft your own. Now Ubisoft has changed the crafting exchange rates so that it takes longer to craft these high-end gear. So basically, they're trying to make it so that you gain more rewards for killing the bad guys and playing through the missions, and less for deconstructing items. I disagree with Ubisoft making it more time consuming to craft the high-end gear, because it's basically making it obsolete, as you'll probably find better gear on your own just playing through the game, and you won't want to be crafting those items for the better rolls. I think it was balanced as it was before the patch. Didn't take too long. It was a viable way to get high ends, and it didn't take too long to get them, but it also wasn't an overly quick way to get the high end gear. The other mistake I think they made with this patch is with the new gear sets. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the new gear sets, and I think it's a great idea, and they really allow for a great way to customize your build better than we could before, and should allow for a greater variety among players and create different class setups. But what I do disagree with is giving them the higher specs with armor, health, stamina, firepower, and all that than regular high-end gear. It's basically making the high-end gear obsolete, as the new gear sets allow for to be better, even if you don't have enough of the sets to get the bonuses. I think the specs should be on the same level as the high-end gear and just give you the gear set bonuses in addition to this. In this sense, it's basically doing what Destiny has done over the years when they raise the light level of their gear and they phase out the old gear, making them useless if you want to progress. This is something that frustrates me in a lot of these grindy loot-based games, especially now that gold item drops are so easy to have. They've basically become the new purple. Maybe if they added a way for us to upgrade our old high-end gear to put it on par with this new par for the course, so to say, this would help balance things out just a little bit better, in my opinion. Along with these gear changes comes the gear set score. This is a number that allows for a quick way to tell how good someone's gear is compared to yours. The downside is it takes into account the raw numbers of the gear and not the synergy they have with each other. So if I build a high crit build, I could have a lower gear set than I possibly could, but it still performs better than I could with that higher score. I like it overall. I think it's a cool idea. I just think it needs a little bit of refinement and maybe take into account the number of similar perks you have. But overall, one of my favorite additions to the game, as it quickly allows me to see where I'm at with the other players in my team. The other addition I really like is the daily and weekly missions. If you played Destiny or other similar games, this is something that you should have expected to come to the Division, and I'm glad the devs put it in as early as they did, as it's a great way to keep you motivated and trying to complete different tasks throughout the week and coming back each day to get more of those rewards. Trading gear is another great addition that I really like and I think has been implemented really well in the Division. They have it set up with the timer and only trading with party members, and this is a great way to prevent in-game economy from popping up, which is a big reason that Destiny probably hasn't implemented trading in its game yet. And having trading coming at the same time as these gear sets pop up is a great idea, as it allows your team to trade these gear sets to one another so your team can really customize the role that each player has. And of course, the biggest addition is the Incursion mission, Falcon Lost, which is basically a wave survival mode like Firefight from Halo or the Horde mode from Gears of War. I've honestly never been a fan of these game modes. They've always been just a bit boring to me to just survive wave after wave of enemies, and in Falcon Lost there's a total of 15 waves to survive through, and personally I can't stand this kind of grind fest of enemies. I was hoping for a bigger mission style layout, maybe with some team puzzles kind of like Destiny's raids have, so I was kind of let down, which is why you see me doing the glitch here, because it's basically just as boring to me to do it legit, but more frustrating with team wipes and all of that. Now, I do want to take this opportunity to warn you against this glitch. If you haven't heard already, Ubisoft has said they're going to punish players who have used this glitch. We don't know how severe this is going to be yet. My guess would be banning people for a few days, or perhaps banning them the same number of days as the number of times they've used the glitch. So if you've used this glitch to beat the boss 2 times, you'll be banned for 2 days. And of course, they could always decide to strip us of all the gear we've gained through using this glitch, which would really suck and be pretty severe punishment. I'm really hoping they don't do that to us, but they do have the ability to do it if they so wish. Overall, this patch is good. It has a lot of good changes in it. There's a few things I think need to be changed and tweaked just a little bit, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of new free stuff here that came out with this update. Even though I'm not a fan of the Wave Survival mission, Falcon Lost is a free new mission, and at the end of the day, free support and missions like this post-launch is always a great addition. But anyway, that's all for this video, guys. If you liked it, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think of the changes that came with patch 1.1 in the comments below. If you haven't seen my previous video on my challenge mode build, click the link on the screen now, and until next time, this is Objector, signing off.